Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we've been lied to, folks. We've been lied to and lied to and lied to and lied to. And today in DAIXRP.com, I'm going to show you some of the ways we've been lied to. But I'm also going to show you how I think people are waking up to the lies. But first, we're going to talk some XRP and some Ripple. Anyway. If you're still, here's Dark Defender, and I will always be a defender of Dark Defender, because when I lost my X account, he had a hashtag free DAI on his charts. Dark Defender will always be a friend of this channel. If you're still in and get mad about XRP, look at this. Do you think that XRP can defer the break? I don't think so. No room left. We will catch the wave and enjoy the prosperity of 2024. He's got a short-term target of $1. I would love to know what his medium and long-term targets are. I'm sure he'll show us. Now look at this. I saw this. Brad Garlinghouse likes the way I'm thinking here, apparently. I had said I don't care which part. Look, if you've learned anything, folks, by paying, if you're even halfway paying attention at this point, all this Democrat-Republic stuff, my whole life, it has been used to divide us all, folks. So to make it always look like it's this side or that side, and it's not. The corruption runs deep, and it runs throughout both sides. What we need to all start doing is focusing on rooting out the corruption, and it's time to vote out anyone. To vote, we need to vote for anyone who says they're going to start putting the people who have corrupted our political process, not just the politicians, but the bureaucrats that have been put in place, who, you know, the ones who don't have a faithful allegiance to the law and are political operatives. It's time to start electing people who are going to put those people where they belong, either in prison, out of office, or worse. Because I think our country's at a place where that's where we are. It's time. I think Brad Garlinghouse must agree. Now, check this out. Mark Yusko. I told you, of all the Bitcoin maxis and the Ethereum maxis, if I had to pick two guys who I think are good guys ultimately, they talk their book a lot, but I think they're ultimately good guys. It would be Mark Yusko and Tim Draper, and they're also smart guys. He's saying some really good stuff here.
And that's kind of what we have coming into 2024. We have this celestial alignment of all the things, all the cycles. So we have the 4-year cycle in Bitcoin, right? The halving happens in April, early May, depending on the blocks. But that's going to happen. We've got this wave of liquidity that's about to be unleashed with the approval of the ETF. We've got this cyclical wave of it looks like the economy's slowing, therefore the Fed's going to go back to accommodation, which will devalue the dollar more, which means if we price Bitcoin in dollars, the price of Bitcoin goes up. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've got a technological wave where 650,000 people were laid off from big tech. That's a lot. And it turns out some of them don't have enough money to never work again. Some do, but many don't. And turns out some of them are like really smart. And so they are starting new companies and in these cycles, post downturn. So everyone says, well, we didn't have a recession. Fine, you can believe that. I don't really care. 2022 was as much a recession as 2001, right? We had 2 negative quarters. We had 1% growth for the year. That's a recession. Now, you don't want to call it a recession because you juiced the employment numbers. I don't really care. But post 2001, 2002, 2003 were some of the best vintages for business formation, venture capital, innovation. And it's because during those downturns, people get displaced.
Right.
And turns out, most powerful force in the universe, not Bitcoin, I mean, that's close, but no, I'm just kidding, is human creativity. Human creativity is unbelievable. And actually, the reason I am the most excited about Bitcoin, I'm excited about other things in digital assets, but Bitcoin in particular, and I'm stealing this directly from Jimmy Song. If you get paid in fiat, you're a slave. And it's a really politically charged word, you're not supposed to use it, but you are, right? You're a slave. Why? Because the government can steal the wealth back from you through devaluation. Yeah. If we migrate to a deflationary currency like Bitcoin, and you got paid in Bitcoin, you're no longer a slave. You unshackle yourself. And what that does is it unleashes human creativity, because you no longer have to work your slave and job, right? It's the Bachman-Turner Overdrive song, and quit your slave and job and get your pay, or start your slave and job and get your pay, right? That goes all the way to the 70s. They've been talking about this. And so people knew that it was debt slavery and fiat slavery, but we didn't know how to break out of it because we needed the money to buy food and pay the bills. Well, now if you can have an asset that actually appreciates as the dollar devalues,
yes,
you have a store of value, and you can take time to think, to create. And not everybody will be good at it, but the ones that are, I think it unleashes amazing potential. And the thing that gets...
All right. And then this guy right here is from Galaxy, and he's also kind of talking about the Bitcoin narrative.
There's this excitement around this ETF. There has been a huge run-up in Bitcoin through the end of last year in anticipation of these ETFs. How does the market sustain itself after that?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it has been a big run. There's no doubt about that. We started last year at 16.5, finished the year around 41,000, obviously at 45 today. This is a huge narrative, the ETFs, and it will drive significant inflows. It's not just a normal news event, a positive headline, right? The headline itself will be, the creation of new market access vehicles that can drive significant inflows into the, and we've estimated. I think beyond that, you have the Bitcoin halving, which at this point is more of a narrative event than sort of an actual supply event. But it is likely, as your prior guest and many have talked about, it's likely that halving, which will occur around April, may coincide with rate cuts, right? And monetary easing, on what I'll call a relatively arbitrary basis from the world central banks. So again, that predictable, programmable, credibly transparent monetary policy of Bitcoin is yet again about to coincide with, one that I would say looks a lot like the opposite. If you recall, this is exactly what happened in May 2020 when Bitcoin started to run, and Paul Tudor Jones called it the fastest horse, and central banks went into the biggest monetary base expansion in human history, right? That stark contrast, don't forget that. That's most likely going to happen. And by the way, if it doesn't happen, in May or in the spring on the central bank side, it will eventually happen.
Okay, and by the way, I'm sitting here looking at the prices, and it looks like Bitcoin's up above 45,000 right now. Okay, so their pumping is working. We'll see how that unfolds, because we do have we have a problem. Jim Cramer is talking good about Bitcoin.
And obviously it had a great year last year.
Yeah, we got that clearing event of Sam Bankman-Fried going down, and that seemed to make people feel, we're safe. And then the ETF.
We continue to wait.
Endless ETF.
Right.
And look, it's very rare that I've ever seen that this way. Could it be a waiting for Godot? I mean, no, but there won't be an ETF. But I do think that the people who are in it for that are going to use that as a chance to sell. But this thing is, you can't kill it.
No, can't.
And the late Charlie Munger, who was so brilliant on so many things, was blind to this. Now you can say, wait a second, maybe it's all going to come
Jamie
unravel.
Dimon has not spared any negative words.
No, but look, I mean, it's a reality and it's a technological marvel, and I think people have to start recognizing that it's here to stay. The SEC's been against it almost the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that every one of these is here to stay, but I do think that this is a remarkable comeback that was unexpected, except for all the bulls who turned out to be right.
Gensler does a lot of jawboning.
Didn't work.
A lot of jawboning.
He wants people to be in ones. So, I mean, when you speak to him, he just would like everybody involved to have to be like it's a registered security. And he failed. And I think even the Commodity Futures Trading Commission is not aligned with him.
Wow, he just said Gary Gensler failed. You know how many times that Jim Cramer has flip-flopped based on which way he thought the wind was blowing? I wouldn't trust that guy as far as I could throw him, but I thought the most telling thing in there is that he said Gary Gensler failed, and these are people that don't say things unless they're told to say things. BRICS doubles overnight today. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Iran are officially members of BRICS. They joined Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa's formidable economic powerhouse, representing 29% of global GDP, 43% of global oil production. Think petrodollar, folks. Although tensions exist between member states such as China, India, BRICS, is a growing challenge to the G7. President Xi, I wish to extend warm welcome to leaders of new BRICS members. All right? Now, folks, this is where we're going to start, and I'm going to go into DAIXRP.com before I go into this tweet right here. But we're going to go further down this rabbit hole. We've been lied to, folks. You have been lied to. Not on one thing. We've been lied to on hundreds of things, and I'm going to show you some of them. You've just been flat lied to. We have been lied to as a country, as a people, as Americans. We've been lied to. And I believe we've been lied to for the worst of reasons. The word treason comes into play here. So we're going to go into DAIXRP.com and we're going to talk about how you've been lied to. And we're going to start here with what Jimmy Valley put. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family you've been lied to. And if you want to find out more about how you've been lied to, go to DAIXRP.com. And also in DAIXRP.com, by the way, I'm going to show you where your favorite CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, was spotted for his New Year's, I guess, I'm assuming. We've got the pictures.